Hi friends, it's Amy here. In this lesson, your students are going to be working on using addition properties to add. All right, we are still working on this same standard. We're going to have it memorized by the end. If you're in Florida, you're working on math, grade 3, number sense and operation, standard 2, add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers, build an understanding of multiplication and division operations. The benchmark is 2.1, add and subtract multi-digit numbers, including using a standard algorithm with procedural fluency, which we will do later. Today, we're focusing on using addition properties to add. I also want to point out in today's lesson, the focus is not actually on finding sums, it's just how we can use these properties. This is important because it's building that number sense to help students think about how they can rearrange expressions to make it easier to find the sum. So again, focus is not on finding the sum, but how we can rearrange our expressions. Lily is organizing a book drive and she collects books from 3 different places. From her school, she collects 27 books. From her library, she collects 33 books. From her neighborhood, she collects 10 books. How many books does Lily collect in total? Well, since this is an addition problem, we would be adding 27 plus 33 plus 10. Okay, so first of all, we can group the add-ins. Now the add-ins, whenever I have, this is called an addition expression. The add-ins are the numbers we're adding together, and of course the sum is what it's equal to. So we can group the add-ins in any way, and the sum will be the same. So maybe we group 27 plus 33, and then we add 10. Okay, now why would we group those two together? Well, we might be looking at the ones place and know 7 and 3 are friends of 10. So 7 and 3 make 10. 20 and 30 is 50. So this is a total of 60. So this way we would get 70. Now we might decide to group the 33 and the 10. 27 plus 33 plus 10. So 27 plus, we would add the 33 and the 10. We would get 43. 7 and 3 is 10, 20 and 60, 40 is 60. That gives us a total of 70. Now, this is the associative property of addition. When I used to teach 7th grade, I used to tell students, imagine that 3 of you are sitting beside each other at a lunchroom table, and I am in the middle, and I turn around and I talk to one person. I'm associating with them. That's like this one, the 27 and the 33. I'd be the 33. I'm the one in the middle. And then I turn around and I associate with a different person. So I'm talking to them. Now that's like the 33 and the 10. When we talk about the associative property of addition, all the numbers stay in the same order. It's just how we group them that changes. Now, we can also switch the order of the add-ins and the sum will be the same. So if we add 27 plus 33 plus 10, I might say, all right, well, I want to add 27 and 10 first. So I would switch the order and get 27 plus 10 plus 33. The order of these two switched. Okay, so then we would have 37 plus 33. 7 and 3 is 10. 30 and 30 is 60. So it's a total of 70. Notice how each time we've got a different expression in the second step because of the property we're using, but we end up with the same answer all the time. Well, this is the commutative property of addition. So think about commuting, my commute to work. You tell students like they may have been familiar with commuting to work or commuting somewhere. When I commute, I start at one place, I go somewhere different. So things change places. Order doesn't change with associative. With commutative, the order changes. At this level, they're not going to be expected to identify that particular property. They're just expected to know they can use it to make it easier for them to find sums. So now your students are going to go into not going into this, but it's just something that I wanted to talk about with the parents is that it is important for us as adults to note that there is no associative or commutative property of subtraction. Because if we think about 120 minus 20 plus 5, is that the same as 120 minus 5 plus 20? No. This is 105. This is 115 plus 20, 135. That's why we have the properties of addition, but not of subtraction. Same way, 10 minus 8 is not the same as 8 minus 10. Let me stress, I'm just throwing this little bit in for you guys. This is not something I think you want to tackle with your students unless you just really want to challenge them and say, hey, is it the same? Because 10 minus 8 is 2, 8 minus 10, we get into negative numbers. If you did want to challenge your students, you could always use a number line and show that if we have 10 and we go back 8, we end up at 2. But if we start at 8 and we go back 10, we would end up in the negative numbers. Please, 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 let me stress, this is not third grade content. Just throwing that out there for you all. So the kind of questions your students will be looking at today. So it's not, we're not focusing on finding sums and differences. It is just looking at using these properties because we want them to be very comfortable with using these properties so that they can oh my, I was talking and using my hands so much that my watch just talked to me and it scared me. Those who know me know I scare very easily. Okay, so we're not finding sums and differences in this lesson. We're applying the properties. So like here, we can see if we look, 255 plus 819 equals 819. All we're doing is look to say that that's 255. If your students are questioning it, say, look, 819 was in the second place. It moved to the first place. 255 was in the first place, so it moves to the second place. I have more different problems in the student version if you want to watch that one also. So here, 562 moved to the end, so we would have that equals 330 plus 562. Now here, we're just looking at again, not finding the solution, but just how could we group them? Now, you want students to be able to explain and think about why they would group them the way they did. So, for example, here, maybe we're looking for friends of 10. We call that two numbers that make a 10. That's really a helpful strategy for when we're adding numbers. So we might decide to group to take 234 plus 52 plus 118 and group those two together because 2 and 8 in the ones place are friends of 10. That might be one way. And then here we might choose to group the 216 plus 74 and then add 136. Or we might choose to group the 74 and the 136 because both of these make friends of 10. So again, just looking at helping to reinforce students, how could I group these to make this problem easier to solve? All right, my friends, thanks for joining. We'll see you in another lesson.